Welcome back to the channel, guys. Cornell and Deal's Winchester. So, this was in a gift. I should maybe say an unloading of tobacco from a friend of mine, follower here on the YTPC, Jimmy. Doesn't live too far from me. And yeah, I'm breaking one of my rules again. But it's 2023 and I figured why not break a few rules starting off the bat, right? And I'm having it in my Jason Mouton Bing's favorite. Show you guys that beauty of a pipe. It is about the equivalent of a merchant service special pipe. So, initial light, which I'll have to admit I forgot to turn on the camera. Initial light is some of that toasty burley, it was kind of vying actually for top spot with Virginia. And it had that nice sweetness from the Cavendish. I do detect a familiarity with this blend and a little bit of oatiness and maybe a little bit of sugar, simple syrup type casing maybe. Off the bat, off the top of my head, and I'm not even a third of the way in. Nicotine is medium already, by the way, to me so far. It reminds me of Pegasus, but with, the addition of some Virginia. But it's nice. I enjoy Pegasus. I did not think that I would, but I do. So, as per my usual reviews, first impressions, I'll give this guy a smoke down and we'll come back to you and tell you about the final thoughts of C&D's Winchester. Welcome back, guys. We are about halfway through the second third of C&D's Winchester. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you my quick thoughts, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a ramble. So if you're just here for the review, my initial assessment has pretty much stayed true, that I believe this is Pegasus with a little bit of red Virginia and some Cavendish, or the unsweetened Cavendish that isn't Pegasus. And I think the addition of that red Virginia helps and hurts this blend, to be honest with you. There's my best rides up on me. It helps because it sweetens it up a little bit, which I am a fan. But it hurts because I really like Pegasus for what it is. And again, I have no backing on what this is. It just tastes very familiar with the addition of something else. But because of that, I'm gonna give it a B, because I like Pegasus, and the red Virginia doesn't detract as much, but it adds a little sweetness, but it does pull away from that familiar profile, which I guess I'm sitting there thinking I want Pegasus. That also being said, there are things going on in this pipe. This is gonna be my ramble. There are things going on in this pipe that are not for this blend. And if you guys have been with me any length of time, I have a bit of a history with this pipe. And this is what makes pipe smoking so great. You build a relationship with a tangible item, an inanimate object. What are you talking about, Paladin? Well, I am becoming more utilitarian in a lot of ways in my life. From pipe smoking, to guns, to tools, to vehicles. And I like the utility of what a pipe provides me with, helps me slow down, helps me look introspectively, calm my crazy mind at times. But in doing so, I've talked at length in different videos on my channel about how a blend and a pipe, when they meet and they're meant to be together, they sing, and the flavors just pop every time, and it's almost like this nirvana experience damn near every time you light it up. But when you're doing that and you keep smoking that same blend and that same pipe, there's kind of a little magic that happens. The pipe becomes seasoned to that blend, and the wood partakes in this metamorphosis, so to speak, and becomes one with that blend. I mean, the wood, the porosity of the briar is taking in those essences of that particular leaf and that casing and that topping or whatever it may be. And over so many times or years or months or however often you smoke and smoke that one blend in that pipe, it's like building a relationship. I don't know many people, not that this hasn't happened, maybe some of you have had this happen to you, who you may meet a person who the first day you meet them, you're like, okay, we're gonna get married. And we get married, and then you just work out for the next 50 years before you die. Most people meet a person, and there's little pop rocks that go off in their mind and their emotion centers and all that. But you build on that relationship. You have another date. You go out. You get to know that person better. You start sharing certain life experiences, and you build that relationship with it, which then becomes a marriage. And whether you have a piece of paper or not, it still is. And you see that through your life, and that makes you stronger, and that makes you more intertwined. And it's kind of the same. I know hokey pokey, but it's kind of the same with a tobacco pipe. Even as utilitarian as I've gotten about them, this is my Prince Albert pipe, and which I didn't look at any of tobacco reviews or anything. I still haven't looked. I'll have to do that after this video cuts. But I'm glad I chose this because, I think Pegasus is kind of between Prince Albert and London Burley Blend. But every puff of this, there's Pegasus with Red Virginia, which is Winchester, and then there's Prince Albert in the background. And in my mind, it was almost as if I was cheating on Prince Albert. As weird as that sounds. But it's like I built a relationship with this because, truth be told, Jason Mouton is a wonderful pipe maker, an amazing person, and I've got some more stuff to show you from him coming up on the channel soon. But this pipe was a bear to break in. This has been the hardest pipe I have ever had to break in. It did not want to break in. It kept tasting rancid, it kept tasting tanniny, it kept tasting oily, and it wasn't until I put a whole tin of vintage Prince Albert through it that it seasoned the briar, and I mean, it was like, okay, this is a Prince Albert pipe. Then whenever I put any other Prince Albert in it, it was perfect. Every single time it was perfect. Sang, it was great. But that being said, every puff of CMD's Winchester, I'm like, oh, okay, there's Pegasus with some Red Virginia. Oh, there's Prince Albert. So, all right, for what that ramble was worth. Thank you guys for joining me again on this little first impression. And I hope to see you very soon on the channel. Take care.